Morning guys, I'm with Tana here.
Hi guys.
So check out his channel, Tana Krishnan. I'll put the link there. He just started doing his perspective on cars. He himself runs the Audi A6
Club, yeah.
hybrid club.
Yeah.
Alright? So a lot of people said that Audi A6, oh very scary, very scary. Ask him. Come to him if you're interested in buying an Audi A6. He is the wizard about Audis. He knows everything. He has his OBD. He does everything with the cars. He can enable secret hidden function in all the Audis. So yeah. So today, as you can see from the route, yep, we're going up Genting in the new Subaru Forester. And I'll check out the price and all that later. But so far, why I on the camera so early? I think the highway drive is very impressive, right?
Yes.
It's just so easy. You see a bend in front, and normally you will ease off the brakes and you will ease off the throttle and brake. But this one you just turn and then the car just turns. So planted, so stable, so easy to drive.
It's more bottom heavy though.
Yeah, man. Boxer engine. It's like normally I would have scary. I better ease off the throttle. But this car is just like turn, just turn like nothing like that. The car.
Wow. Yeah. See, look at
Like,
the speed.
nothing. It's like weird. I mean, it's not a super fast car,
Yes.
right? But you just don't need to slow down that often.
I guess probably being the weight is more lower.
Yeah.
Not only it helps with confidence going in the corner.
Yep.
But the way it keeps the traction is different also.
Yep.
Right. Yeah.
Yep.
The car doesn't lift.
But the seats are not very comfortable.
The problem is the center lumbar support. It pokes my back.
I think the material of the seat and the plushness of it is alright.
Yeah.
It's just the shape of it is
Yeah.
highly dependent on whether your body suit that shape or not. If you suit this kind of pliancy should be good, the plushness. But I don't have as big a complaint as you about the lumbar. But my complaint is the whole seat arrangement.
Okay.
This is the lowest I can set, and I still sit very high. And my elbows are a distance away from the armrest. So, I mean, the day we drove the Mazda 3, right? You can sink into it. So nice. Even the CX-5. Right?
So nice.
Sitting position. Yeah, man. And then the steering wheel for my height. When I want a comfortable footrest position, and to ease my seat into having to be able to rest my elbows on the armrests on both sides, the steering wheel doesn't extend far out enough. What is this GLA trying to do? No, the Forester out-handled the GLA. Sorry, bro. No way you can keep up in the bends.
Scary, yeah?
I mean, Mercedes.
Think about Mercedes, they're making all these cars which are like GLA and A-Class, whatever. The lowest end spec cars, they're not there. And the guys buying those cars like, I bought a Mercedes.
Actually, now I felt Mercedes AMGs are nicer than BMW M's.
Oh, yeah.
But their day-to-day cars, the C200 or whatever, I mean they improve in the C200 and C250 lah, the C300, the facelift. But their everyday cars is a far cry from what they are capable of.
But I guess BMW sold the M badging out as non-M cars faster than AMG, isn't it? So they had all the M Sport package.
Everybody does that.
Yeah, everybody does that.
Everybody does that.
BMW did it first, correct?
M Sport. I think AMG did it first.
AMG did it first, really?
Yeah, the bastardization of their performance range. I mean, in the 90s, you already see C200 compressor AMG. Mercedes started it first. But that era was also because that AMG doesn't belong to Mercedes fully yet.
I see.
So they come up with special packages where Mercedes can maybe buy. Yeah. See, this car is so easy to turn. Damn.
Oh, that's impressive. That's impressive. Really, yeah?
It's easy lah. Of course, the CVT will make noise now. sure then people will start asking, so what about this over the CX-5, blah, blah. The thing is this, if the car can keep up with what direction you want to throw it in, right, is one thing. While you're doing it, whether it puts a smile on your face or not is another thing.
Yeah.
So I don't, is there any sport mode or whatever? Nothing, right?
Nothing.
There's nothing here.
X mode, snow, dirt, push, normal.
Okay, nothing, just tekan saja. What's that? Normal lah. That one is only for performance and on off-road situations.
No, that's it.
Alright.
No pedal shifters.
Oh, it's dry today. Still with the CVT.
Yeah, it winds a bit.
Oh, that's CVT lah.
Yeah.
But I think Subaru CVT is already the best.
But the winding isn't as annoying as other CVTs, I think. It's
It's
maybe,
there lah.
maybe it's quiet lah. Maybe it's quieter inside. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's pretty quiet.
Not bad, man.
The good thing with CVT is that they are always in the right gear. Always. I see the car doing its magic. It's supposed to understeer out and try to manage, keep it at its trajectory. Not a fast car, but it's alright.
But when you check it in the corners, it doesn't lose control, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, if you lose control,
I mean,
that'll be my fault.
I mean, they get extreme sharp corners here, and the car isn't losing control or making a spin or it's doing its stuff to control and brake and
Yeah.
Can you off the DCS?
No, I'm not gonna off it. No way. Better not.
No, does it come with an option to off it?
I'm sure all cars you can off it, but I never would off it because we're not on a track. We're still on a public road. Maximum I would go is to drive until 7:10. You don't want to drive until 9:10. Off traction control, all out. Don't want lah. Which line are you taking? Inside, outside, inside, outside, inside. Give me outside. Good! The way it manages its body roll, the way it manages the four wheels underneath, how to send power. Very nice. But it's just the whine of the CVT. But then let's move on. Accept it. There's a CVT in here.
It saves you fuel.
Yeah. The thing is this, the car, right, it's a tall car, and it still has that kind of tall car motion. It's just that the center of gravity underneath is very low, so that you still feel that it's okay.
The tall car motion from the shocks or tires being high, or because the car being tall?
The shocks are pretty high. The car is also tall, and it's also a comfortable suspension. You don't feel the kind of cohesive movement like a CX-5. CX-5, when you're doing all this, like doing like that, it feels very cohesive. And this one is gripping on, like when you're driving a VAG group car, You know, it just grips on.
They're all together.
But the CX-5 is able to flow like a BMW. So I would say both are equally capable, but while doing it, CX-5 makes me smile more. Tightening corners. And the CVT is muffling up the tire sound. You want to hear your tire when you want to know how much grip you still have left. Right.
I'm trying to put on a brave face.
Oh.
But yeah, the car is pretty impressive, huh?
Yeah. Excuse me, what? Very comfortable. See, when you have a not powerful car, you get to full throttle a lot of times.
Yeah,
Right.
understand.
Okay.
But it doesn't throw you, I mean, as a passenger, it doesn't throw you much left and right.
Ah, really? I can't tell because I'm holding the steering
Correct,
wheel.
you're holding steering.
Yeah.
I've got nothing else except my foot is there.
Yeah, your knees.
My knees are there. But it isn't as bad as I thought it would be.
Ah, okay.
Yeah.
But if I don't follow the racing line,
I'll be bad lah.
then you'll be.
Obviously, yeah.
I think I should do my walk around review first.
Yeah.
Right?
You're almost got lah.
Yeah. Alright, we're there.
There, yeah.
Good morning, guys. Today I have the brand new Subaru Forester. Yup, brand new. I think the Japanese engineers intentionally do this just to remind everybody that this is brand new, because honestly speaking, if I see one on the road, I wouldn't be able to tell whether it's the new or the old one. Alright, that's classic Subaru for you. And especially if you look at the current new XV and the new Forester, they differ so little from the previous one until you park both of them next to each other. Alright, so this is mainly for stylistic purposes. I mean, it's a good touch rather than having just a squared off tail lamp. Alright, but their designs are never, let's put it this way, Subaru has never been the best in designing sexy looking cars. Right, their cars are never sexy, especially the past few years. If you talk about 15 years ago, then you have the version 9, you have the legacy BP5, and then you have the previous second gen Forester. What is it called, SG9 or something? Brilliant designs, beautiful cars, right? Now, yep, that's just how it is. This is the top range. So the new Forester starts from, they have 3 specs, alright? 139,000, which is the E spec or something, and then you have the 149,000, which is denoted with an S, higher spec, and then you have the SES. ES stands for EyeSight. Now, Subaru EyeSight is the first system in the world that incorporates auto braking. Okay, now a lot of people would have thought Volvo back in 2008 with the XC60 of that generation, like Volvo was the first one, but actually no, it's actually Subaru. They were the first in the world to develop a system that has auto braking. That was back in 2004, if I don't remember wrongly, in the Subaru Legacy BP5. That is to me, that's the prettiest Legacy and one of the most beautiful Subaru designs. I had one last time, the Subaru Legacy BP5. So if you come to the sides, you can see that they have some body lines over here. some suggestions of a wide body looking line, but basically they have been rather they're not that crazy when it comes to doing all this stamping lines and all that. So look at the front headlamps. Now you have more angular designs. Again, all these are minor stylistic stuffs that they put in, you know. This daytime running signature, they've been doing that in a lot of their concept cars, and then they try to put them in their passenger cars. And then here you have the fog lamps with this rather weird chrome element here. Here is smooth, here is sort of rougher. That's weird. Okay, overall, it is the kind of car where you can't decide whether it's good looking or bad looking. You just look at it, oh yeah, that's how it is. Alright, but the Forester has always had a manlier appeal, if I may say that. You know, it looks slightly manlier compared to the other SUVs in this category. They've never been the largest car in class or the smallest car in class. They stick true to their belief of what is a practical SUV, and I always think that Subaru doesn't really hire designers, right? The people who design their cars are also engineers, so they don't really care about all the little details when it comes to design. It's not like they want to achieve any greatness in design. That's Subaru for you. You know, it's like the engineers are the one doing the drawing for the exterior, and then the bosses will come over and say, hey, you need to make it more attractive. Oh, okay, add a king here. What else you want? You know, oh, you want lines? Okay, I'll give you some lines. There you go. What else you want? You know, that's the impression that Subarus give me always. All right. This one looks like a spoiler. I mean, extended out. I don't think this has anything to do with the variant that you're buying. I think all of them has it. Okay, and then you have these proper roof rails on top. As we all know, Subarus are the kings when it comes to lifestyle activities and all that. So even though this one looks black color, okay, looks like a plastic rail, like those pretend roof rails, this is proper stuff. Okay, it's cold to the touch, it's aluminium, okay, it's strong. It's not the type where, you know, like Nissan put on their Livina X gear, and then they say that their roof rail has a maximum rating of 20 kilos. What the hell, 20 kilos? What can you carry with 20 kilos? Alright, so yep, you get a power tailgate. It's a power strut, so it's not the type whereby they put standard struts and then they have a mechanized arm like that in the Outlander. Okay, the thing with power strut is that you don't need extra mechanism. That's all the space that it takes up. But power strut also means that, you see, if you look at the Outlander, you have the standard struts, which are very cheap to replace, and then you have a single arm here that only serves to push one side of it up. So classic Japanese way of simplifying costs when it comes to these mechanisms. Now the boot is not the largest in class. It is not. In fact, even the XV is rather small when it comes to the boot, but the opening is very, very wide. Alright, this new Forester is larger in every single dimension, wider, longer, taller. The whole car just grows up. Okay, classic Subaru thing, tonneau cover can always be housed underneath here. Now there's one thing that they remove, okay? Every Subaru since 20 years ago has a little hook here where you can pull out the hook and hook it up here. Okay, I don't see it over here, so you just have to hold this with your palm. Or there's something I'm missing here. Nothing. I don't see any way of holding it here. The old Subarus, you can hook them up here, which is a very nice touch. And here you can see this little panel here. It's like, why is it removable? Because the opening here until here is where you can house the tonneau cover when you remove it when you need to put your luggage and all that. Alright, and there's another thing that I like about Subarus. Look at that. Look at that. Spring loaded and folds flat down. This is yet to be learned or emulated in European car makers, right? All their folding seats are crap. The European car makers, when you fold their seats, they always say it's fold flat. No, it's not flat. It's always slanted at a degree, like a 20 degree, which means your things, you know, when you want to carry a dining table. Yes, I've carried a dining table in my old Subaru. The whole surface of the table is flat. So on a car like that, you can slide it in, whereas on those European cars, it always holds up like that, right? So you get some hooks over here, 12 volt socket, another few hooks over here, and there's some hook points over here. Pretty alright. Okay, so that's about it. That's the boot. And underneath here, you get some storage space, and then below this foam is your spare tires. Look at the packaging of Japanese cars. Look at the way they package the cars. You know, the wheel, if you notice, is slanted slightly. Why is it slanted? So that an indentation can be done on this foam surface, so that you can hide the tonneau cover. Clever approach. Okay, that's Subaru for you. And why does it look like that? I believe somebody has turned the tonneau cover upside down. Yeah, this is how it should be. And very simple, just one lubang, the next lubang. You see, do you notice that? I was operating the tonneau cover with one hand. Just one hand is enough to remove it, to carry it around, because it's lightweight. Okay, that's how it should be. And then you notice this flap, what is it doing? You see these two grooves over here? Because the seats are reclinable, so when you recline to its lowest position, that's where you put this little flap over here. But if your seats are on another position, you can actually use the other groove. Yeah. Right, let's go to the middle row. Another thing that Subaru does, they put their seat belts from the roof. Okay, so you can see that it's spring loaded. Why from the roof? You see, a lot of European cars, right, they have their seat belts integrated into the seats, so they have to make the seats extremely strong, extremely heavy, whereas Subaru use the bodies, right, and the roof panel, so that this whole thing is very lightweight, cheap to replace, cheap to assemble, cheap to sell. Okay, the leathers are alright. You get some leather flaps to cover the isofix. A very interesting approach. Okay, leather flaps are much better than plastic flaps. Of course, it doesn't look as appealing. Okay, so you have the isofix here, very easily reachable, and then the seats themselves are not the most supportive. Okay, you don't get to sink into the seats, so it's just rather basic. Even though there's a lot of garnishing lines here, the stitching and all that, it looks more sophisticated than it is actually. So look at the support I get, or the lack of it. Okay, one thing, remember just now I was driving, I was complaining that the seats are too high. Even if I set it to the lowest position, you can see how tall or how high the seat rails are mounted. There is a base underneath that raises the seat rail, but that also means that my size 11 foot can go between the rails of the front seat and the base of the rear seat backs. Even though this is a four-wheel drive car, look at the center tunnel, it's so low. It is so low. I mean, when it comes to interior packaging, the Europeans really have to learn from the Japanese when it comes to designing space around passengers. You get some fast charging ports here, 2.1 amps, very good. In terms of the door panels, it looks rather attractive. If you look at the door panel, there's a mixture of materials, like this really golf ball kind of surface, painted. Let's see, fit and finish of Subarus. They're not Mazda, huh? But they don't care. Subaru owners don't care, right? They go rough. So these are the door panels. Looks alright. Good mixture of materials. Like they tried their best. Alright, some stitching over here, leather wrap, soft touch, pretty alright. It's slanted here, but they didn't make use of the slant to let you put big bottles. They put this indentation in there, some bulging up maybe for the speakers, so you didn't get to put large bottles, even if this was created for large bottles when other car makers designed them. Alright, so seat belt holders, you get to go up and down. These are pretty straightforward. The zipper type, you know, the whole seat. Actually the leather just wrap on top and put a zipper. That's like a low cost approach to fully leather your interior. Aircon vents here, they're mounted rather high, and I think this has the best middle seat of almost any 5-seater car. So sitting in the middle seat, there's very little distinction when it comes to headroom. Shit tons of headroom, right? Look at that. And yeah, but middle row, this is considered one of the best middle row. So I would call it a proper 5-seater then. You know, not many cars are proper 5-seaters. You get keyless entry, but only on the front passenger side. Powered seats, front back, very simple. Okay, now the dashboard is the one that sort of looks more sophisticated now. Let's have a look at it. Curiously, inside here there is a rubberized coating. I hope this is not the type that BMW use in the F30, right, where they get sticky over time, but I'm not sure about that. Subaru, I have faith in them for long lasting. Okay, they might not be the most sophisticated when it comes to designing car interiors and all that, but their stuffs last. Okay, very nice pedals down here. See, there's an example of how Japanese car makers are learning from European car makers now. Right, this thing ensures that your mat won't slide around. Have a little compartment. Nope, that's not a compartment. That's to access the fuse box. You see, this is the full spec variant, and you can adjust the brightness, set memory for the rear hatch, open or close it. Not sure what's this, find out later. And then a blind spot warning, you can turn it off. Traction control, start stop button is over here. A very curious piece of printed plastic over here. This interesting combination. Why, I do not know. Alright, so the sitting position. The sitting position of this car isn't the very best, to be honest. Why? I'm 5'11", so to get a nice comfortable pedal position, I shifted my seat to this position, and to be able to not have my elbow being too far apart from the armrest over here, or this really short armrest here, I try to lower my seats as much as possible. This is the lowest setting that I already get, and when I'm holding the steering wheel, I mean, this is nitpicking here. This is nitpicking because I wish the steering wheel can extend a little bit more. That would be optimum for my driving position. Okay, now the steering wheel looks very, very futuristic and with a lot of buttons over here. Of course, this is the full spec. You get a paddle shifters, you get a nice looking design. The size of the steering wheel is really good. The girth of it is good. It's not too thick. That's a new XV. Alright, I think the XV is more comfortable than this one when it comes to even bad roads. This one is extremely comfortable on highway, but on bad roads that one feels better. So this is for you to activate the sort of like the radar cruise control, where you can extend or reduce the distance. That's to activate it. Increase speed, decrease speed, cancel. Cancel gets a very big button. Alright, the SI mode, where you can switch, and then your phone controls, proper buttons designed and integrated into the steering wheel. Very, very good. Alright, so what else? trip reset instead of batang there. It's a nice button here, very nice. And the whole dashboard looks good. Soft touch materials. The fit and finish is good. Again, it's just that even though you can see that they do a lot of design elements and all that, the very chunky, very transformer kind of look, right? Glove box that drops down slowly. I think the fit and finish and build quality of this car is excellent. It is excellent. Let's start the car. Okay, and this is usable but bad. Okay, bad as in the graphics. There's zero effort put in it. It's like you go to home. Yeah, this is like some aftermarket system, you know. Straightforward, damn easy to use, but then when you look at it, it's responsive as well. It's very responsive. Loads the navigation pretty alright. And then is this a CD slot? Yeah, that's a CD slot. Or is it a CD? Are CDs that size? I couldn't recall already how CDs look like. Alright, even these little buttons, it has a very nice push to it. Alright, so good job there. But this one is a lot higher res than this one. So case in point, let me switch it on again. I move into reverse. That's the view that you get from this. Okay, look at the resolution. But when you go into reverse, it activates that camera as well. Now that is somewhat similar to Honda's lane watch, but look at the resolution of that. It's a much higher resolution. Let me try and get the camera close enough. I loosen this one first so that I can adjust, oops, sorry, the angle. Try to go as near as possible. Look at the resolution of that. That is a lot better than this one. Okay, now if I turn the steering wheel, nope, doesn't move that. And that little camera can be activated from this button. So I press this to activate that. Press it again to turn it off. Press it again to activate. Press it again to turn it off. Now when you adjust the aircon controls, immediately you'll be looking at where's the indication to show what am I adjusting is there. Yep. So the temperature and all that, pretty alright. It's just that why Subaru wants to put this so far high up, of course, is because this is a proper car that can go off-road. Okay, there are two modes to go off-road. Alright, see, it even shows the angle of my car now. Alright, there's another mode which is deep snow and deep mud. When you go into this deep mode, you get the traction control off. Alright, and you can't move it when your car is going too fast. You can only change this when your car is going slower. Okay, and you press this to go back to normal. And this thing here is a very nice location. Like I like cars that space out this place for your center console. However, it's you can't really place a full-size phone. Okay, you have your USB there, auxiliary, HDMI, 12-volt socket, but this compartment is not deep enough. Considering how big, how chunky this center console is, I would expect this to be able to at least put a full-size phone. So we can't. So it's just dangling there. So you can only put your wallet over here. And then your phone, you have to put it in the cup holder. And then you see a little compartment here. Ah, you can't. Okay. Then you get a console here, which is rather small for what the car is. And this feels very 90s. Coins. And these are runners for your cables because you have a 12-volt socket inside here. That's about it. Okay. And what else? So, wish list. I would have hoped they designed the center console to be at least 2 inches higher. Alright. And then so you have a deeper compartment. You have a higher gear lever, and then you can also have a deeper center armrest console. Yep. Now up here, very extensive. You get a sunglass holder, very nice touch. A lot of cars gave up that now. And the lane departure thingy button is up here. You know, you'll be looking for it. And it's like, where is it? Isn't it supposed to be here? Why is it not here? There are 2 blank spots over here, but it's over here. Japanese, classic Japanese. Okay, this is the eyesight system. You can see now Subaru's eyesight system debuted at a very early age. It debuted 15 years ago. So 15 years ago, software isn't that advanced where object recognition is as good as what it is now. So what Subaru did was they put two cameras apart, mimicking how our eyes look out. And with two cameras apart, you can have the sense of depth without using a sonar. Alright, this is one of the best sun visors. Why? Because it's big and then you get this. But where's the mirror? Where is the mirror? A lot of women buy... Oh, sorry, it's here. I'm dumb. I'm just dumb. Okay, the mirror is here. Do you get... Okay, you get a mirror as well. Okay, good. This is good. So, get to extend out. Why? Now, maybe in Malaysia not so often we get to use this, but in Europe, especially during seasonal changes, right, the sun is at a very low part of the horizon. So a lot of time when you drive, right, the glare just comes in like that. So you need that. And in fact, this is also usable here. Alright, so yep, that's the interior of the new Subaru Forester. And it's a very, very functional interior. Subaru won't change things suka-suka like I mean, you want a larger screen, you want a screen, then maybe it's above or below the aircon vents, but when the screen grows larger, you must put the aircon vents by the side. Okay, so this can't run too far away from it. Alright, and then functional, the whole car is just very, very functional. And then yep, and the boxer engines. What's good about a boxer engine? They don't vibrate. Alright, you can try and touch the car, you cannot sense any vibration because boxer engines naturally cancel off their movement and they are very, very, very smooth, unlike a normal 4-cylinder engine. Alright, so that's the walk around of the new Subaru Forester.